Good Monday morning. How are you? Volume seems hot. See if we turn that down. I don't know why that's coming so hot out of the board. My coffee's brewing in the other room per usual. Oh, bless me. Excuse me. All right. We're in that fun phase waiting for people to arrive to the live stream. Who's going to join us in the live stream? Who will join us today? Let's get our chat overlay window going. Just accidentally resized the whole thing. Let's see. Chat overlay. There it is. How are you today? We're going to be talking about what becoming means and becoming thin today. That word, use of the word. Oh, and if you don't know, I have a podcast. New episodes come out every Friday, including this last Friday. You can check that out. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you here today. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's sized correctly. I'm checking all my buttons to make sure they're working correctly. And then now I need to go find a clip to play for you because I'm going to get my coffee in a minute. And I've been really enjoying doing the thing where I play some clips while I go get the coffee. So we're going to go to the project files. Of course, be sure, don't do it yet. Have your wins ready. We're going to be doing our shout outs here in just a little bit. We got to do shout outs. But I need the coffee to wake me up. I decided not to have coffee at home. I'm going to have it here. So I am getting the sniffles. Good old cold coming to get me. Are these just raw files? Yeah, these are just raw files. Where's my published files? Oh, here it is. There they are. I found them. But how's your weekend going, everybody? How'd your last week go for your journey? How did your last weekend go? All right, I found the clip we're going to play while I go get my coffee. You know, I'll tee up the clip here. Oh, wait. I should probably transfer it off the network to a local drive so that it will play better. I'll just do that. What is the one thing you need, that we all need, to make it to the end of whatever goal, in this case, a becoming thin journey? What's the thing we all need? There's something we all need. Well, what it is, I'm going to tell you about it here in just a moment. Because without it, weight loss is pretty difficult to achieve because weight loss takes time. So without further ado, I present to you the answer of what is the one thing we all need to lose the weight and keep it off for good. Can I tell you why I lost weight? I used to watch my brothers play around on the playgrounds like this with their kids, my nieces and nephews, of which I have many. And I could never do this. I would always be the guy just standing off on the side, not able to play like my siblings could. They're just running around this exact playground all the time. And why did I lose my weight? It's so that I could do this. I could play on the playground. And I thought we could maybe talk about the why of weight loss for a minute. That was something that no one had ever explained to me until I guess figured it out. I had heard the idea of a why, but no one ever really helped me connect. You need a reason to go through the trouble of losing weight. You need to have a powerful thing waiting for you on the other side of the journey, because the challenge I always had with weight loss in the past was I would lose a bunch of weight, and then once it got hard, I would just quit. Now, I would never call it quitting. I would always call it, well, I'll get back to it on Monday. I'll get back to it tomorrow. I'll pick it back up. I would always say that. I wouldn't. And what it reminds me of is a story of an old friend named Scotty. So I was living in DC, and it's in my early 20s. And he had just graduated college, and before starting his career, he was going to go hike the Appalachian Trail. I believe it was going to take 6 months or something like that. Real big deal. And he had been out there for a long, long time.
he ended up coming off the trail to do, I believe, if memory serves, it was for a wedding, and he was going to be off the trail for a couple of weeks. And he couldn't get himself to go back because it was so miserable on the trail. And once he had gotten off of it and gotten out of that headspace and got a taste of the comfy life again, he could truly see how miserable the trail was, and he couldn't get himself to go back to it. And I think that's sort of what it's like with weight loss, right? It's going to get hard. You're going to take a break from it. You're going to find yourself in a situation where weight loss isn't convenient, can't really be in a deficit, or maybe you don't even want to. Maybe it's like a vacation or something, or you just find yourself traveling and whoopsies, ended up going over your calories. It happens to all of us, but you got to have a reason to get up, knock the dust off, and go hit it again and get back to it. It's your why, it's your reason. And if you look at all the great movies where the hero gets knocked down and they gotta dig in deep, and what they're digging in deep is they're digging in deep and finding a reason. They're finding a why. They're finding something they can connect to that will compel them to push themselves harder than they've ever pushed themselves before. That's what a why is. That's what a why does. And I had one. I never had one like this in the past. But one of the whys was I admitted to myself that I want to become thin. I'd actually admit that, because then I wouldn't stop until I had the goal. Now here's the thing, I did in the very, very, very beginning, I said all I'm gonna pay attention to is did I feel better? But I knew the ultimate goal was to become thin. The ultimate goal was to be at a place where someone would use the adjective of thin to describe me. But I knew I couldn't focus on that. And later when I got into endurance running, I began to realize how I got lucky that I did that, because when I was running a marathon, I am not thinking about anything beyond about mile 4 when I start, right? When I start a marathon, all I'm thinking about is the next 4 miles. It's somewhere between 4 and 6 miles will be the first aid station, right? That's all I'm thinking of. You're never paying attention to the whole thing other than the goal of you're gonna do it, and you pay attention to the whole thing once you've run it. You're like, whoa, I did all that. But with weight loss, if you get in it and you're like, I gotta lose 100 pounds, I gotta lose 100 pounds. You're gonna just be like so overwhelmed, you're gonna wanna quit. But you gotta know that's ultimately what you're going for. But then you gotta let that go, just like the marathon. I'm gonna run a marathon. Then you gotta let that go and just focus on running the next few miles and get really good at that. And so sometimes you gotta I wanna lose 100 pounds, and then let that go and I just wanna feel better and I want my clothes to be looser. I'm gonna focus on making some lifestyle changes. I'm just gonna lose the next 5 pounds. I'm just gonna worry about that, right? And you just keep going. So find a why. You need a why. I'm hungry. I want lunch.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, that guy. You do need a why. I needed a why to get to all the... Oh, wait, that was me. Yeah, you need a why. I mean, I was talking about that in the very beginning. One with a strong enough why can endure almost anyhow. And if I'm not willing to keep going, it's because I don't have a good enough reason. Because think about it. Virtually every problem along the journey is solvable. Like almost all of them are solvable. And you know the answer. You need to eat less and you need to move more. You just need a reason to do it. And you're a smart person. You're not stupid. You can solve it. And I realize the same with me. I can solve this. I may not be able to solve it this moment. I might have to go do some research, but I can go do the research and not give up. Giving up always is just a simple matter of you don't have a good enough reason. I mean, is it a great reason? You know, the thing about reasons are interesting. Everybody's like trying to look for the ultimate right reasons. People ask me, well, Chris, what was your why? And I tell people some of them, but I don't tell people a lot of them because they matter to me. You know, you got to find your why. I mean, that's a part of it. You have to go in and dig in and find a reason to move forward that actually matters to you, that actually is important to you. A reason to not give up when it gets hard. Think of anything in life that you've worked towards. Anything. It was hard. You wanted to stop. But you had a reason to keep going. And sometimes that reason's not more complicated other than I just don't want somebody to say something mean to me. Sometimes that works. Sometimes the reason is I want a paycheck. I want a reward. I want to avoid a punishment. All sorts of things can be the reason. But have you thought about your wins for the last week? You know what? It's getting close to time We need to do some shout outs. We need to do some shout outs. My energy's low. I got to get my energy up. We got to get pumped up here as we're going. So let's let me find the right song just to get me in the mood, get me in the groove. I know which one I'm going to do. I know which one. This became a favorite of mine earlier this year. Kind of became a theme for some live stuff. But are you ready? Oh, helps us route the sound through the right location. Here we go. Let's try this uno mas time. All right, here's what I want you to do. I need you to reflect back over the last week. Last 7 days from today, all right? Reflect back. What did you do in the name of your goal? Anything. What did you do? What action did you take that you did it so that it would help you get closer? Don't tell me your intentions. Don't tell me what you committed to do. Don't say, I fell down, but I decided to keep going. Nah, bullshit. I'm done with those ones. I'm not accepting those anymore. I want you to tell me what you did. What did you do? Anything. Nothing big. Doesn't have to be small. It could be any of them. Doesn't even have to be original. Did you walk 7,000 steps when you planned to walk 7,000 steps? That's a win. Did you say you only were going to eat when you were hungry and then you ate lunch when you were only hungry on Tuesday when you know you weren't going to? If you weren't listening, that's a win. Did you move 3 times a week for 20 minutes at the gym? That's a win. Well, but Chris, I've already done that. I did that the previous 6 weeks. Don't care. Still a win. I didn't ask for original wins. I asked for wins. Did someone offer you food? Were you almost always, you know yourself, you know you. Did someone offer you food when you would have said yes every time, but instead you said no? Why? Because you're losing weight? And did you get another win by not invoking the weight loss card? I want to hear all about your wins, what you did. Now, if you had a sign of progress, well, tell me about your sign of progress. Oh, I didn't know that was going to kill my music. Well, let's just move right on into the celebration music. I guess it's time. Happy accidents right here. All right. Tell me now, tell me true in the comments. How did you do? Did you win? I want to hear about it. All right, let's kick this off. First, signing us up for... Let me find the first one up here. I got to make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right, I think I got it right here. Tiffany went to a Christmas party last night, but ate before I went and took a yummy drink with me to sip on. Only had a couple of bites and didn't binge or overeat during or afterwards. Fantastic. Excellent. You know what? Hold on. I forgot. We got to bring my applause. We got to have our fake audience cheering for us that I'm in control of. Still counts. I love the not choosing to binge afterwards. Fantastic. All right, we got somebody that tracked their calories. Excellent. Hope that taught you something. Helped you see something. Signed up for the Guild. Welcome to the Guild. Glad to have you. Got our new member meeting tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Joseph, thought I was installed for 2 months, but turns out I wasn't. Lost an inch in the waist and scale is moving again. After staying consistent and hit a new low. Love it. Love it when we hit a new low. It's such, look, I know we're not supposed to be satisfied by it, and I know, but you give yourself your moment. Just don't hang on to it, right? We just let go, move on. But you can enjoy the moment, I suppose. Karen, I lessen my screen time at bedtime to work on better sleep. Go figure, it works, right? It does work. It does. 100% does. Bree over here hitting it hard at the gym. Liz, first milestone down. 20 pounds down. First 20, that makes you a winner. Well on your way to success. Good job, Liz. Congrats on the progress. Happy for you. All right, what else we got? Walked more. Oh, we always like it. We're walking more. Always like it when you're walking more. Oh, it's funky bass time. Always like the funky bass. All right. Tell me right now. We're doing wins. Signs of progress. Could be scale victories, non-scale victories, or More importantly, what new behaviors did you take in the name of your goal? All right, we got our next one coming up from what looks to be Kristen. Drove right past the drive-thru on the way to work, even though I had time. Oh, I know this one. I gained a lot of weight going by through McDonald's drive-thru in the mornings. Tiffany bringing us up with another one. Hey, and y'all, you can tell me get more than one win. I ain't gonna be greedy. Went to a hockey game and climbed over the seats without any trouble. Sign of progress. I like that one. Also, air fried some bell peppers and walked while they were cooking. Old me would never do either of those. That's how we do it. You gotta change your lifestyle, habits, and routines. Do something that you normally wouldn't do. Oh, we got another one. Dr. Sam. Like you've embraced the name. Ran 25K in the snow and took an actual rest day yesterday. That's right. Don't be afraid of the rest. Don't be afraid of the rest at all. Miss Tidon spent time with OSPs, filling my cup, feel rejuvenated and ready to take on anything. I'm with you. I was literally with you as part of that group, so thank you. I too feel rejuvenated and ready to take on things. Next one from Dale. Controlled myself in a restaurant and did not overeat. Did not overeat. I like the overeat part, right? Wonderful. Owning your choices. Owning your choices. Averaging 13,000 steps a day from Deborah. Whilst, I appreciate the use of the word whilst. You having one of the busiest weeks at work ever. I'm going to give you a win, and I'm going to give you the air horn, and I'm going to say that I'm going to give you an I love it for the use of the word whilst. I know that's not the most important thing. I just don't get to say that word very often. That's a fun word. And so, let's see. Any other wins in the chat? We're about wrapping up. Song's about over. Lost 1.5 pounds in the last week. What? Love it. Congratulations on the weight loss there. Turn my Stranger Things binge watch into a chance to get more steps. Oh, you know what? We can do one more song. We got a few more wins. I want to get to them all. Oh, we're about to be out. But that's all right. Binge watch into more steps. I like this, Liz. Good job there. Carrie had a game night with friends and only swore twice in front of the youngsters. They seemed like legitimate slips. We'll give you that one. Survived the week. That's all I got to say about that. No, well, hopefully survived it in a way that made you happy. Reached out to an OSP this week. Only supportive people. I consider a model that's a little bit ahead of me on the journey. Her words resonated with me. Love it. Seeking help from somebody further down the line. A wise choice. Wise choice to do such a thing. Thanks for sharing your wins, everybody. Thanks for celebrating yourself. Thanks for encouraging each other. Always appreciate that. Hey, new episodes of the podcast come out every Friday. So I'm including this past Friday. If you have not checked it out, you can head on over to your favorite podcasting platform and search for Becoming Thin Podcast. You can find it there. It's going to look like the picture here on the screen that I got. Actually, it might say Chris Terrell Podcast, but that's going to change the first of the year. I'll be shifting that fully after 1 year, giving the official rebrand of the Becoming Thin Podcast. It's been fun. It's been a wild ride, actually. Originally having it called the Chris Terrell Podcast, which I really enjoyed, but sometimes you got to change. The topic for today, what does it mean? What does becoming mean in becoming thin? I'm going to tell you a fun story about what's precipitating today's conversation. I wasn't even sure what to title it, so it's a bit of a trick. I'm going to just talk about the word becoming in becoming thin, but the thin part isn't going to be the emphasis. Somebody recently said to me, Chris, you don't practice what you preach. You're not what you say you are. Somebody recently said that to me, and they meant it. I believe they believe that. Look, I've had all sorts of people say all sorts of things to me. You know, look, when you get online, you do social media, it's going to happen. And in your real life, when people meet you and they know who you are, they see something. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm exactly what I've said. And they got to thinking, I'm like, oh, I think I think I see the miscommunication. I see where the wires got crossed. I see why this individual is like, you're not what you say you are. I'm like, I think it might be because you don't know what I say I am. What I am is becoming. Hi, my name is Chris Terrell. I am proudly under construction. I'm not even remotely close to done. I'm not even remotely close to my final form. I have made tremendous strides from who I used to be. I make mistakes in my life all the time. I regularly find myself in circumstances and situations where I'm like, I don't have a clue what the right answer here is. I don't have any earthly idea. And I look around, I'm like, do you know what to do? And they don't know what to do. I'm like, what about you? Do you know what I should do? Oh, you don't know what I should do either? Well, let's go to a book. Does a book tell me what to do? Oh, shit, this doesn't have the user's manual for my life. Let's go to the journal. Maybe my subconscious will tell me. And I'm like writing it down. I'm like, shit, my subconscious didn't know. There's so many times in life, I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, guess. Just guess and be willing to fix it if you find out you guessed wrong. Like, I was not willing to do that for a long time. I was like, no, I have to know it's going to work out because I can't get it wrong. If I mess up, that means I'm worthless and I'm terrible and no one will love me. I'm being a little silly because remember, I'm hearing myself talk out of my own mouth, so I need to be a little sensitive to myself. I have to give these old disempowering beliefs a silly voice so I don't believe them too much. But it's like the thing that I'm proclaiming, the thing that I'm saying you should do, the thing I'm trying to help others do is to stop staying stagnant and to start becoming something. And I think most people out there that are obese want to become thin, even if they won't admit it. Because that was me. I have this hypothesis that there's millions of people out there that are just like how I was. They were obese or are obese. And they don't want to be. And they don't just want to trade obese for mildly obese. They don't want to trade obese for overweight. I think a lot of people want to trade obese for thin. They literally want someone to use the adjective of thin to describe them. But of course we can't say that because the word thin has all this stigma attached to it, which is all just made up mental noise. And so people are like, no, I'm losing weight. Yeah, but to what end? Losing weight is talking about the process. I'm happy with that, but what is the goal? I literally wanted to put the goal in the name. Becoming thin. I'm in a state of becoming, and because one day I want you to be able to say, hi, my name is, and I have become thin. I want you to get to say that. But you see, I don't just help people get after three things. One thing. I help people get after three additional ones. I want you to become thin. I want you to become healthy. I want you to become happy. And I want you to become in shape. All four of these are different. Oh, Chris, you said becoming thin. Why didn't you say becoming healthy? Because I did say becoming healthy. I also said becoming thin. They're two different things. They're two different things. They're two different things. Thin and healthy. They're different. You can become thin and be wildly unhealthy. You can become healthy and still be fat. Like, they're different things. And you can become thin and you can become healthy-ish and you can not be in shape. And you can become in shape, you can be healthy, you can be thin and not be happy. You can be happy and fat and out of shape and unhealthy. It's like these are four separate goals. Four distinct separate goals that you progress at different rates. And I am becoming three of the four. I have become thin. Now I am staying thin. All right, that is my next stage. I am staying thin. Healthy. I am always becoming healthy because you're always degenerating. I'm fighting a losing battle here. I've been given a death sentence at birth and I'm making my way towards my deathbed a little bit closer every day. I'm always seeking to become healthy. You're not done. That's like, I'm always becoming thirsty, except for the literal moment I have satisfied my thirst. And then there's happy. Well, people that are on the maintenance side, they know we talk about it more openly. It's not actually becoming happy. First, we learn how to become happy. We learn that progress is the key to happiness. If you want to get a sense of happiness, go get a sense of progress. You'll feel happy. And then you'll realize that's not everlasting. You'll realize that happiness always ends. And then eventually it's like, oh, I don't actually want to become happy. I want to become at peace. I want to become peaceful, at peace with my life, at peace with what's happening. And that's a different journey. And you're becoming that, becoming peaceful. And then there's in shape. You're either getting in shape or you're getting out of shape. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as staying the same in shapeness. You're either improving your physical condition or you're losing it. Because somewhere in your body, your physical fitness is degrading and you just aren't working on it. And somewhere in your body, you're probably improving or maintaining it. So your body as a whole is always backsliding somewhere. So it's becoming. And a big part of things is emotional eating. And I talk a lot about how you have to have your life in order. And I've tried to very much present myself as somebody that's practicing what I preach. But hi, I'm a human in life. And sometimes my life is not in order. Sometimes my life is messy. Sometimes I do things I'm like, that was not the right way to do that, Chris. Sometimes I lose my temper and I yell. I don't like that I do that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I make a mistake, not knowing any better. Sometimes I get arrogant and I don't listen to somebody and I just make my own decision, not listening. Sometimes because I'm a very talkative extrovert, sometimes I dominate the room without meaning to. And then I catch myself. I'm like, oh shit, you did it again, man. You did it again. So, hush your mouth. Let other people talk. I do that. Sometimes I lose track of time. Hi, I have ADHD. And yeah, it's a thing. I woke up today, ADHD. I'm going to go to sleep with ADHD today. There's parts of me that I've realized that are probably unchangeable. They're probably unchangeable. That's okay. I'll just accommodate that. Me being ADHD is unchangeable. I can manage it. I can use medication. I can do lifestyle tricks, but that doesn't change the underlying thing. It's just there. And so the thing is like, what is becoming? Becoming is under construction. You're in progress. You're loading. There's a progress bar down below, and it's not gotten all the way to the end. And so I hope, and I really want to just talk, when the person said that to me, they're like, you're not what you say you are. And I was like, I really try to be. But maybe I should be clearer about what I am. Hi. I'm a wildly imperfect person, and I make mistakes regularly. I hurt people's feelings without meaning to. I spend money that I didn't need to spend. I stay up later than I should. I sometimes eat food when it's probably an emotional eat and I tell myself it's not. I skip exercise because I just felt a little lazy. All of these things are true. They're true. The difference is, though, let's compare me now to me 7 years ago. Me 7 years ago used to do this shit all the time. Like all the time. This is like my normal. This is like my regular everyday behaviors. Now these are more infrequent. I'm happy with that. I so rarely lose my temper now. This is a rare thing. I like that. I don't sit there and tell myself I'm eating that it's not an emotional eat when it is very often. Do I do it sometimes? Probably. I don't do it that much. Not anymore. I did. But over time, I gradually started doing it less. I don't spend my money frivolously as much as I used to. Do I still do it some? Sure. Am I working on it? Yes. The thing I've realized with life is there's a lot of initiatives in life. There's a lot of things that need attention. And there's only so much of my attention to go around every day. And that's why I find it's always clear, important to have clarity on my priorities in life. And so that I'm working on them. For far too long in my life, I was not okay, not at all okay, with being under construction. I felt like I needed to be perfect, but I knew I wasn't perfect. I was aware. I was very aware I wasn't perfect. I mean, because I can, hear inside my own head. I can hear what I'm saying. More importantly, I can hear what I'm not saying. And so I'm over here looking around life, looking at all these beautiful people in the world, doing everything they can to present themselves as perfect, as not flawed. And so what are they doing? They're not talking about their struggles. They're not saying, hi, I'm a big, ginormous hypocrite. They're not going around saying that. They're going around talking about how great they are. So what did I do? I did what they did. I walked around and started talking about how great I was. But that felt wrong. So I stopped talking about how great I was. Because I felt like a big old hypocrite. And I felt like there's something wrong with being a hypocrite. You know? Felt like you shouldn't talk about something unless you're perfect. Oh, you gotta be perfect. So I did everything possible to portray a sense of perfection about myself. The phrase, I don't know. For whatever reason, I didn't think that was a good answer to things. I didn't want to use it. If somebody came up to me and they're like, just, how does this work? I wouldn't be like, I don't know. I would do it with a few people in my life. Like my dad. My dad was somebody I felt safe enough to utter the phrase, I don't know, and I wouldn't be judged. But I was always worried that if I said I don't know, I wouldn't get something. Which is funny because I love to learn. And when you say I don't know, that means you're about to get to learn something. But I didn't. I had a fear of learning, which is funny. I liked learning, but I possessed a very deep fear of learning. Very big insecurity around learning. Lots of reasons why. I've unpacked that a lot. Why did I have that? Doesn't really matter why. It mattered is I had it and I needed, and was I going to do something about it? And the answer was yes, I was going to do something about it. I did do something about it. I removed my fear of learning. Because part of the problem with unlearning, with removing my fear of learning, is I needed to embrace unlearning something. But here's the thing. You know what precedes unlearning? Finding that you know something that is in your way or wrong. That means I got something wrong. Oh no, I got something wrong. But I didn't say that. I said I was wrong. Me. I'm identifying with the wrongness of my knowledge. So of course it made me feel bad because I'm telling myself I'm wrong. I'm the wrong one. Only stupid people get things wrong, I'd say. I chuckle like that because I just sometimes look at my past self with just amusement, like I look at a child that's just doing something and they're making it so much harder on themselves because they just don't know any better. And I look at like sometimes 30-year-old me just beating his head against the wall with his fear of failure and his fear of judgment of others. Seeing that he was very unhappy and seeing like, dude, you are totally creating most of your own misery, man. Like, ugh. Sometimes I wish I could go back and just sit down on me and me just be like, man, you're being too hard on yourself. It's really, I promise it'll work out. But I was so afraid of things not working out. I was so afraid of losing the good things I had in my life. And I'd look around and everybody else seemed to be doing just fine. So I guess I better portray a sense of being perfect. I better portray a sense of having it all together. I better portray a sense of I've figured life out. And of course, you'd look at me. I'm fat and out of shape and a little bit neurotic at times. And it's like, you don't look like you got it all figured out. And that was the problem. I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, oh, I don't look like I got me figured out. But at least I got my brain. At least I got my great mind that exists in my computer land. Yeah, I ain't mastered me, but I can master my mind. Just the bullshit I'd tell myself to dodge accountability and dodge responsibility and dodge facing myself in the mirror. I don't run from the guy in the mirror. I embrace my flaws because it's my flaws that make me who I am. And it's my flaws that give me the experiences in life that lead to awesome learnings. I hope that everybody looks at me and sees a flawed, broken guy. I hope that everybody, if you look at me, you see somebody that has hard times sometimes. But I also hope you look at me and see somebody that has been able to overcome some of the crap that we pick up in our early part of life. I've tried to practice what I preach. It's okay to be unhappy. You know, I truly mean it. Fuck happiness. What the fuck does being happy got to do with anything? I don't got to be happy, because that's the problem. If I feel like I have to be happy when I'm not happy, I'm somehow saying my life isn't okay. And I don't like believing my life isn't okay. I don't want to live a moment of life going, my life isn't okay. No, I love my life. I want to love every single second of my life, even the miserable seconds. Why? Because I imagine that when I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to be wishing I had a few more of them seconds. I think about these seconds of life from the perspective of my deathbed. I didn't used to do that. And so I realized, like, screw being happy. I like being happy. Happy's fun. It feels good, right? I mean, just like I like my morning coffee. It tastes good. I really enjoy my coffee. But it's like, just because I'm not drinking coffee later in the day, that doesn't mean my day is somehow less worthwhile. And what if I don't have coffee one day? Does that mean somehow my day isn't a good day? Like, that's dumb logic. And I used to fully and completely and totally buy into that dumb logic. So much so that I didn't even think it was an option. We question all our beliefs, except for the ones we truly believe, and those we call as facts. We don't question facts, even though a lot of our facts in our minds are just beliefs that we latched onto. Like, you made me mad. You didn't make me mad. You said something and I chose to let you get me. I chose to be mad about it, but I didn't want to say that. You made me sad. No, you didn't make me sad. You said something and I chose to think something about it, and I chose to make myself sad based off what you said. You made me happy. You didn't make me happy. You said something, did something that gave me permission in my head to choose to allow myself to be happy. The reality is I'm the one that is making myself feel everything, because I'm choosing how to perceive, react, and attach myself to whatever is happening in front of me. And sometimes I overreact. And sometimes I get sad. And sometimes I lose my temper. And sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. And sometimes I make an absolute ass of myself. And who the fuck cares? Like, who cares? Like, I'm working on it, just like all of us. And that's the important thing. And I wish, this is the hard part of social media and what I'm doing here and why I'm talking about this today, is because people put off and show off as if everything is great and everything's right, and you're trying to be role models. But it's like, but we don't always show our flaws. And I'm just of the belief that I'm really not that special. I'm really, honestly, genuinely, truly of the belief that my shortcomings and my flaws aren't that special. That in fact, a lot of other people, probably even a bunch of you watching right now, share. So what does becoming mean in becoming thin, becoming healthy, becoming happy, becoming in shape? It is learning how to become it, being under construction. I am becoming healthier by doing the things. And sometimes when I'm failing, I am still in a state of becoming, because a failure is a part of the process. A failure is where all the lessons are. And I need the lessons in my failure so I can then go be successful later. I am not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. Not at all. Fuck perfect. I think perfect's stupid. I think perfect is pointless. I'm fine with it as an aspirational pursuit, knowing damn well you'll never hit it. That's fine with me. But I don't want to be perfect. I have no, like, that sounds boring. That sounds dull. When I think of anything in my life, when it has finally reached perfection, I only enjoy it for a little bit. And then I'm like, this is boring. I want messy. I want sloppy. You know, I want to bungle my way through something, have to figure it out. That makes it fun. The struggle and the grind sometimes is fun. Look, I'm going to be alive for a long time. I need stuff to pass the time. I need things that are worth doing. And if I'm going to be alive for a long time, I might as well set a goal that takes a long time to get. Because on the other side of a goal is just another damn goal. So let's just set a big goal, a real big one. One I'll maybe never even get before I die. But let's just make my way towards it the entire time I'm alive. I could die tomorrow. I could die today. I could die 20 years from now. I could die when I'm 95. I could die when I'm 100. That's the goal. Got to make it to 100. But I don't know. I'm not meant to know. It's unknowable. And even if I was told, I could get hit by a bus. Like, what? All right, Chris, we're going to give you a terminal illness and you have 10 years to live. It's like, well, that's a bummer. Let's just live. Changes nothing. I'm already living like I'm dying. Every day I live like I'm dying because I am. So changes nothing. I guess I'll just I'll have a few less nothing days. I don't know. I like my nothing days though. I've had a bunch of nothing days the last couple of months. I needed them. Going through some shit in my personal life. So sometimes I need some nothing days. And I'm not sad about that. I want to experience life. And part of experiencing life is being an imperfect person. But I just felt so gripped and trapped by my fear of imperfection, my fear of mistakes, my fear of failure, my fear of the judgment of others, my fear of being alone, my fear of feeling like I'm not good enough. I live my life just ruled by these fears. And I got fortunate. And I picked up the lessons as my dad died that I needed to break free, to wake up from the prison that I had built around myself in my own mind with an open damn door in front of me. I wasn't even trapped in the prison. It was just too scary to leave. So I stayed. And then I left. And then it got real scary. And then life got better. And then I kept going. And then I started talking to other people and realizing, wait, you haven't walked down this journey? Wait, you haven't walked down this journey? Wait, what about you? You haven't walked, you're 70. You haven't walked down this journey? You're 52. What do you mean you haven't walked past this journey? I'm 38. And I started realizing this journey, moving away from all this stuff, no one forces you to do it. This isn't like growing up. It is growing up, but it's not a phase that anybody makes you do. You got to do it on your own. You got to choose to walk this path. And a lot of people walk this path, but you need guides. I've had guides. I've had guides all along this path. And for whatever reason, I felt compelled to be a guide. It's a compulsion. I'm well aware of it. I spiritually am working through this all the time. Like, why on earth do I do this? And the only answer, I've only been able to arrive at one answer. I feel compelled. That's it. End of story. It's a compulsion. I can't stop. I don't want to stop. It feels like my life purpose. So I'm going to do it until such time I feel that it isn't. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the accolades. I don't do it for the rewards. I have to make myself go check comments and metrics on social media because I just forget about them. I don't care. But I'm like, oh, right. These are real people. I need to go talk to them. Like, and it's not because no, it's not because I'm not thinking about people. It's just like, I'm not getting out of it what I thought I would get out of it back when I never did this stuff. Everything I'm doing, I do for free. And it's like, I felt like I just feel compelled. But other people feel compelled. I meet other people all the time. They're like, I've made this journey. I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel compelled to turn around and help people behind me. I need to. Okay, great. Let's do it. Come on. Lots of people need help. And so that's the thing I realized. It's like, hey, you don't have to stay where you are. This prison you're in, you can leave. I know. And yes, it is actually going to get kind of scary there for a minute. And yeah, it's going to be a little destabilizing there for a minute. But I promise it gets better. It gets better. When you move away from fear, when you move away from your fear of failure, when you move away from fear of judgment of others, when you move away from needing to be perfect, when you move away from happiness, fuck happiness. Seriously, screw it. Peace. Peace. If you can be at peace in pain, life gets a lot easier. But if you can only be at peace when you're happy, you're going to be a miserable fuck. I think that's the technical medical term for it. I think if you open up the DSM, if they say, if you can't be peaceful when you're unhappy, you'll be miserable. I think it what it says. I think it even uses miserable fuck. Maybe not. But that was me. I was miserable and hit it. Because I had to be perfect. Perfect. And the challenge is I got to do what I do for a living, and I have to demonstrate it. And I have to also make sure to regularly remind people that, hi, my name is Chris Terrell, and I am hypocrite number one. Because that's the point. You're all hypocrites. Every damn one of you is a fucking hypocrite, just like me. And where's the problem? Where's the problem? If you're not doing something about it, okay, maybe there's a problem. But you see, I chose to do something about it. But I chose to strive satisfied, I think is a phrase somebody coined. I don't know who. But I'm just going to strive satisfied, completely happy. I'm going to make my way towards my goal of becoming the kind of person I want to be. And I'm going to be happy with myself as I do it. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to ridicule myself. I'm not going to demean myself. I'm not going to cut myself down, even when I make mistakes. Not even if I make mistakes. No, even when. It's not an if, it's a when. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have setbacks. I'm going to slip into old disempowering mindsets and beliefs. I'm going to. But I don't feel shame about it anymore because, well, fuck shame. And I don't do the shame game anymore. But the other thing is I just have this hypothesis that this journey I'm on is a human journey. That it's something all of us need to walk down. Some of us are further back. Some of us are further ahead. But it's this pathless path to a gateless gate. We just walk down it. How far down it do you go? I don't know. It's up to you. But the path begins with awakening. Waking up. Waking up to the illusions that keep you stuck. To the mental fantasies that keep you trapped. And the funny thing is, the mental fantasies that keep you trapped are often literally right in front of your face and you talk about them, but you don't know them. It's funny, I over the course of what I do now, for the last coming up on 5 years, I have observed a lot of people. It is the lifestyle choices that they say that bring them joy that are actually making them miserable. But they don't know. They don't see it. They believe this lifestyle that I've picked makes me happy. I could never give this up. This brings me such fulfillment. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's actually making you miserable. It's actually making you unhappy. It's actually making you very depressed. But you think it's making you feel good. What does Orson Scott Card say? We question all our beliefs except for the ones we truly believe and those we never think to question. I believe this thing is good for me. Oh, But have you ever stopped and seriously really questioned it? What if it isn't? What if this thing that you're very sure is good for you actually is the thing that is bad for you? We call that an illusion. I believe the illusion, and it's keeping me stuck. You have to wake up from the illusion and go, oh, this thing that I thought was making me so happy is actually making me fucking miserable. Release it. But now I have nothing. But that's because something else will take its place. Oh, now I have pills. Don't replace it with pills. Let's replace it with something else. Let something else take its place. Now I have the guild. That's a better thing. This toxic community that I think is so good for me, this community that I don't call toxic, this X community brings me joy and happiness. The illusion. I woke up, it doesn't. I let it go. Now I have nothing. Oh, I have a new community. This food that makes me so happy is actually making me miserable. But I don't believe that. So, Laura, you asked here, Laura, can I give an example? I could. I'm not going to. Because I cannot. The problem is the examples I would give, I would have to pull from my memory banks, and I don't. This is an area where if a person believes something is good, like they genuinely, truly believe something is good for them in their life, like to their bones, they believe it. If I directly come at it, the person throws up their guard. A person has to arrive at this discovery on their own. They have to awaken to it on their own. It's like awakening from the Matrix, right? You have to choose it. Because once you go down it, you can't go back. So I'm going to make a choice in this moment because I didn't prepare ahead of time for some more neutral examples. I don't want to, but here's the fun thing. Because I know a lot of who you are, many of you are guild members here. So I know a thing or two about your story. There are many of you that I have had conversations with that are here right now where you have expressly named something in your life and said it was good for you. And me as the outsider, I'm like, oh, you don't see it. Oh, okay. So we're just gonna say that that's good for you. That's the oh, okay. Like on the outsider, you're like, this is obvious. This is not good for you. Like, but you clearly, not only do you not see it, you have so fully bought into the illusion that you believe the inverse. There are several of you. I know who you are. I have watched you talk about it. Some of you, we have talked about it directly. And there's something in your life that is really bad for you that you think is good. We question all our beliefs except for the ones we truly believe, and those we never think to question. So if you have something that you truly believe is good for you, do you have the courage to question it? What if it's wrong? What if you're wrong? What if the key to getting what you want means finding that thing and then letting it go? But you see, you can't let it go until you let go of the belief that it is good for you. And you can't let go of the belief that it is good for you unless you're willing to scrutinize it. And so what I'm going to suggest is go look at your sacred cows. The things that you say they're unquestionable. Don't you come at me, bro. If you come after this, I'm going to cut you. Of course, you don't say that, but you know that vibe, right? I'm talking about that vibe of like, Here's the thing. I have cried on the internet, bore my soul out, uncut, unpolished, unscripted, unrehearsed, many times. Just like I do when I want to show myself exercising or show myself eating right or show myself journaling or talking about my feelings. One year, I decided to grieve my dad. I teased the grief out. And I decided to record it on TikTok. Why? To show what it looks like to grieve, to normalize it. I'm going through a divorce, as many of you know, and I chose to show my feelings. These videos get a lot of views because people see someone being a human. And I think people want to see other humans be a human, to give us permission to be a human, to give us permission to be imperfect, to give us permission to embrace the flaws that make us who we really are. Most of us aren't special. None of us are special. But our collection of flaws are special. Our collection of strengths are special. Our collection of life memories is special. Those are unique. Those are ours. But needing to overcome flaws? No, that's not special. Struggling with perfectionism? It's as common as breathing. Having a fear of failure? Super common. Super, super common. Not special even a little bit. Feeling like you can't do something that's really hard. Thinking it's got to be some special thing outside your control. Yep, that's not a special excuse. Lots of people do that. It's literally a mental fallacy. It's got a name. But what I've come to see is I had this illusion that people suck. But I chose to question that belief. I'm not acting the way I want to act because of the belief that people are inherently mean and judgmental. And people will punish me for not being perfect. That was my belief. But what if I let that illusion go? Here's the thing. Some people are assholes. Some people are self-absorbed jerks. Okay, that's fine. There's probably a good reason. And probably if I was raised in their shoes, had their life experiences, was taught the way they were taught, had their parents, their friends, read the books they read or didn't read, listened to the music they did, had their biochemistry, I probably would be just like them. I do everything in my power not to judge somebody for what they do and remind myself that I'm just what I would be under similar circumstances. But that doesn't mean I got to interact with you and have fun with you and be friends with you. No, not at all. Not at all. I get to choose who I hang out with in my personal life. But in my professional life, no. You're free to be yourself. I'm going to meet you where you are. However you are. That's okay. Look, at some point that was me. And then somebody came and they didn't make me feel bad for being imperfect. And I realized my belief that people are inherently judgmental was wrong. People are great. People are great. I love people. I love people. When I share my soul, I'm just always reminded of how great people are. Yeah, there's a few assholes in there, but again, and haters gonna hate. That's what they do. And so I realized I don't like hurting. It's okay if I'm hurting, but I don't want to. I'm not going to be able to stop all of the hurt in life. But a lot of the hurt I was going through, I was adding. Like there was the hurt I couldn't control, and I was taking hurt that I could control and just wrapping around it like a warm, hot blanket covered in water. A wet, hot blanket. That sounds terrible. That's what I would do. But for me to break free from that, I had to let go of the belief that I had about other people. That people are judging me all the time. It was fake. People aren't actually judging me all the time. And if people are, a lot of people are actually judging me kindly. You know, a lot of people, they talk about how they feel self-conscious about themselves in the gym. I hang out with a lot of gym people. I've been a gym person for 7 years now. 7 years of my life straight, unbroken chain. I hang out with a lot of very fit, in shape people. I hang out with people that their gym's been a part of their life for 40 years. Let me tell you something. The overwhelming majority of people in the gym, when they see a big, out of shape person that's very clearly new, we don't think negatively of you. We cheer you on quietly in our own head. We're proud of you. We're not going to say anything to you because we don't want to make you feel awkward for you. We do look at you, but not because we're wanting to judge you in a negative way. We look at you because I admire you. I respect you. I'm proud of you. You're doing the hard thing. And in my mind, I'm silently encouraging you. Keep going. I hope you don't stop. Keep going. You're doing the right thing right now in this moment. That's how it's done. You're here. Come back 4,000 times and you'll be there. You'll have it. You just keep coming back. That's the answer. It's not be perfect. You just keep coming back. That's what I think. And I've asked people point blank, what do you think when you see a big person coming into the gym, an out of shape person, a new person? And people are like, I'm supportive and encouraging of you. I wish you would ask me if you had a question. I would love to help you for free. We're proud of you. Yes. Are there the occasional judgmental assholes in there? Yes, but that's because they're seeing the world how they are. They're judgmental assholes of themselves and they're projecting it onto everybody around them. But you got to let them go. Thankfully, the assholes reveal themselves usually. And you can be like, oh, thank you. Now I know I don't need to give a fuck what you think because you're an asshole. Most people are actually great. And that's been my experience the entire time. I've been working on myself. I'm under construction. I'm a man in progress. I'm loading. I'm imperfect. I'm flawed. I make mistakes. But what I have been doing that's different for the last almost 7 years is I get up. When I fall down, I get up. When I fall down, I get up. One more time than I fall down, I get up. I keep coming back. I'll fail 500 times. Fine. But I'll get up 501. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm worth it and I deserve it. Thanks for coming with me for today's live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I go live. Also, new episodes of my podcast drop every Friday. You can find that on your podcasting platform of choice with a new episode coming out this past Friday. Hope you enjoy it. And I will be back next Monday, of course, with our Monday morning motivation. And Misty? Yep. Have a good day, everybody. Can't wait to see you until next time. Talk soon.